Hello YouTube, my name is Nero, taking some more Call of Duty WWII. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have a lot of great news and information to cover for Call of Duty WWII, including new sales figures, double experience events, a brand new community event, as well as 4 incredibly popular weapons that are going to be buffed or nerfed in the very near future. Let's start things off here by talking about the double experience. So for those that don't know or haven't signed in yet today, Sledgehammer Games activated both double XP and double weapon XP for multiplayer and zombies this weekend. It's going to be lasting until Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific, so be sure to carve out some time to play this weekend. And note that we're talking about all of multiplayer and all of zombies. It's not exclusive to one game mode or one playlist or one map. All of multiplayer and zombies give you double experience and double weapon experience, which is pretty freaking awesome. Next up, we have the new sales report. So Sony has revealed their top downloaded titles for the PlayStation Store in 2017. And surprise, surprise, Call of Duty WWII was the most downloaded game of 2017. With Black Ops 3's Zombies Chronicles being the most downloaded add-on of 2017, and of course Call of Duty WWII's Season Pass came in at number 3 for most downloaded add-on. I cannot wait to see the first year sales reports for this game, because right now, based off of all the hype and all the press it's getting, it looks like Call of Duty WWII may be the most popular Call of Duty game to release since Modern Warfare 3, which still holds the record for being the best-selling Call of Duty game of all time. Next up, we have Sledgehammer's co-founder and game director Michael Condrey taking to Reddit to give us a glimpse of what we can expect in the very near future for Call of Duty WWII, and what he said is going to be pretty shocking to a lot of you. So first things first, he thanked us all for an incredible Winter Siege event, which I personally thought the event went pretty well as well. But he then mentioned that they are going to do some weapon balance changes before the Resistance event goes live in just a couple of weeks. So this confirms that not only will the new maps be releasing for the PlayStation 4 at the end of January, but there will in fact be a new event involving new weapons, as we discussed previously, and this guy is likely going to be the brand new quartermaster. I have to wonder how this is going to exactly work for the Xbox and the PC, so fans on those platforms will have to wait 30 days to get the brand new maps. It will be kind of odd to have a whole Resistance event going on with new weapons, a new quartermaster, new challenges, contracts, and so on and so forth, if there aren't any new maps to actually play on. So is it possible that each new DLC is going to have its own event and its own quartermaster? And will Xbox/PC users have to wait 30 days for the new maps, the new weapons, and even the new events? If so, that's going to be taking the exclusivity deal to an all-time low in terms of consumer friendliness. Unfortunately, Michael Condrey did not elaborate any further on this Resistance event. All he did say was it's actually called the Resistance event, which says to us that in fact we are having an event, as compared to previously where we thought maybe just the maps would be released alongside new weapons. Oh no, an entire event is actually happening. It came straight from the horse's mouth, and I cannot wait to see what all this event is actually going to entail. He also, in his post, decided to give us a glimpse as to what they're working on in terms of weapon balance over at Sledgehammer Games. As I said earlier, they are going to be changing 4 very popular weapons before the Resistance event actually goes live, and those weapons are going to be the Kar98K, the FG42, the M1 Grand, and the STG44. So first things first, the Kar98K, they are looking to nerf the ADS speed of the Kar98 because they feel as though it's too easy to quickscope with it. They want to bring it more in line with the other bolt-action rifles in this game, and that's definitely going to make a lot of snipers pretty angry because, of course, the Kar98K is by far and beyond the most popular sniper here within Call of Duty WWII. Next up, they are looking to buff the fire rate of the FG42, which is actually kind of funny because just recently they nerfed the fire rate, but they feel as though they nerfed it too much. They don't like where the weapon is currently in terms of its role in the meta, so they're going to be buffing up the fire rate on the FG42 ever so slightly to make it a little bit better, but not as good as it was previously before they nerfed it. They're looking to buff up the STG44, though unfortunately Michael Condrey didn't actually go into detail. All he said was he wants the STG to be more competitive with the BAR, the M1 Grand, the FG42, and submachine guns like the PPSH-41 and the Tommy gun. I personally feel as though the STG is actually in a pretty good spot right now. It's not the best gun in the entire game, but it's good in the vast majority of situations, and so if they want to make it even better, I guess that's good for people like me that already like the STG-44. And finally, we have the M1 Grand, which they are looking to nerf nerf, though they're not sure how they're going to go about nerfing it. They're looking into adjusting its fire rate, its pull-up time, or even its reload speed, and the reason why they're looking to nerf it is because people in competitive Call of Duty are complaining that the M1 Garand is simply too good up close. It's far too good in the vast majority of situations when in the right hands, and when they say that, I can kind of agree. I've had situations with the M1 Garand where my accuracy was on point, my trigger finger was warmed up, and honestly, it felt like I was unbeatable at times because the M1 Garand is a monster up close because of the 2-shot kill, and it's also good at those medium to long ranges because of the very high damage. Those are the ranges it's supposed to be good at, but it's also good at up close. But here's the thing. If they're going to go about nerfing the M1 Garand, they have to do it very carefully, because if they nerf it too much, suddenly we have two different SVT-40s in the game, and that's the last thing anybody wants to have. The SVT-40 has to be one of the least used weapons in the entire game, and for good reason. It's one of the worst weapons in the entire game, and I would hate to see the M1 Garand go the way of the SVT. That would be freaking terrible if you ask me. I want this gun to be viable, and honestly, when you think about semi-automatic rifles in the Call of Duty franchise, they are much harder to use and be good with as compared to a full auto like the STG or the BAR or the FG42 or anything like that. Like, it's always going to take more skill to be good with a semi-automatic rifle as compared to a full auto rifle. So I hope Sledgehammer keeps that in mind and doesn't nerf it into the ground. My recommendation for the M1 Garand is you can balance it out a little bit more by reducing its fire rate ever so slightly. Don't go crazy with it. Don't give us another SVT-40, but if you reduce its fire rate just a little bit, I think that would balance it out in competitive, because they can't use rapid fire in competitive, and for regular public match multiplayer, we can use rapid fire, and that would kind of negate the nerf that you're going to be giving the weapon itself. So we're going to have to see how it plays out. I just really hope that the M1 Garand does not become another SVT-40 by adding more recoil or reducing its fire rate or anything like that. We're going to have to see how it plays out, but ladies and gentlemen, those are the weapon balance changes that we can expect before the Resistance event goes live at the end of January. Unfortunately, there was no mention whatsoever of them nerfing the BAR or buffing up the shotguns like the Luftwaffe drilling and the sawed-off. I told you guys in my recent V2 Rocket video that I don't think they're going to be nerfing the BAR anytime soon because they seem to be avoiding it entirely, and the fact that Michael Condrey said today that they're hoping to make the STG-44 more competitive with the BAR seems to prove that point a little bit. So time will tell, ladies and gentlemen, but for now, that's all the new information we have here for Call of Duty World War II. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts on the upcoming changes and the now confirmed upcoming event down there in the comment section below, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.